Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? It's been a busy day. As you guys know, without reiterating, I haven't been well. Trying to get ready for an LNC meeting on Wednesday. It's just a special meeting, but I have a lot to do. But was bound and determined to do a show. Let's do the YouTube stuff before we get started. And I see you there, Chuggy Pro. Como estás? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. Oh, follow me on Twitter. I've got a funny story to tell you about Twitter, and I refuse to call it X. I was at an outreach booth this weekend. I think I said this last show, but I'll say it again. And I spoke to both the Democrats and the log cabin Republicans that were there. Yes, Castle Rock has its Pride event in August. It's Castle Rock. I don't know what to say. But one of the people manning that booth was like, she's got a great Twitter account. So go follow me on Twitter, Karen Ann Harlos. So it's at Karen Ann Harlos. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Starting to close in on 6,000 subscribers, and that is pretty exciting. And the funny thing is, most of that is not because of my long form content, which I know is very, very niche, but check out my shorts. My shorts have been super popular. I did one yesterday, I think it was, poking fun at Neil deGrasse Tyson, which just to get, it involved this. And this thing smells so bad. Don't ever buy these masks from Amazon. You suffocate in them. Like, you have to turn them inside out to air them out. But it was quite fun for the few minutes I had to wear it. Maybe I'll use it again, but for right now, it's just occupying a space in my studio. But yes, I did need this unicorn mask. Okay, it's back over there. And I'm going to be putting up comments here in a minute, so hola, everyone. What else? I guess that's... Oh, last but not least. No, I don't want that. Here I am messing up my buttons. Last but not least, please consider supporting me at Patreon. Patreon.com/Pink Flame of Liberty. Up on the LNC list, and it will be up on Lpedia. It's also online on Pacer. I do really encourage each and every one of you to go and read the hearing transcript and the case that's going on with the Michigan State Party right now. This is a real no-nonsense judge. She was not easy on either side. Very, very impressed with her reasoning. But she came up with a term that I adore. We've been calling the non-recognized attempted coosters the rogue board or the fraud board. But I just love the term she came up with, and you can tell it was just on the fly. She called them the knockoff Libertarian Party. It's like, here's the Libertarian Party in Michigan, and here's what you get when you order it on Wish. The knockoff Libertarian. That was brilliant. So that's the term I'm going to be using right now, the knockoff board. But I do, particularly if you're interested in the law, she does a really, really good breakdown of trademark law. So I do encourage you to go read that transcript. Again, it will be on Lpedia, but it is up on Pacer, or Court Listener, I'm sure has it. Pacer Watch probably has it, and it is up on the LNC list. Alrighty, we're going to get to this history, and they're on my head. I'm getting so old. I was like, where are my glasses? Oh boy. And I'm trying to think, do I have any committee meetings tomorrow? I don't know. If I don't, I'll do a show. Wednesday night's an LNC meeting, so there definitely will not be a show. And Thursday through the weekend, it is the annual LPCO camping trip. We go camping this time of year every year. So I'll be up in the mountains. Maybe I'll record some things and upload them later, or do some shorts or something, but there will be no shows over the weekend. And I really do need the rest, and I need to finish. I have an independent parliamentarian gig with some work I need to finish. Has nothing to do with the Libertarian Party. So I did get a paying job, JJ, and I hope to be doing more of that, and it's some bylaws review. So I'll be working on that over the weekend so that I can finish that up. All right, let's get moving. We left off with Oklahoma. You're not... Oh, it's not on the LNC list. I thought I put it on the LNC list. You're right. I meant to put it on the LNC list. Historical... Oh, is it historical preservation tomorrow? No, it's the first and third Tuesdays, Nathan. I'll put the transcript on the LNC list. I thought I did. I uploaded it to... Lpedia. Hold on one second. I'll stick a link in the chat if I can. Let me go to Lpedia. It's not indexed yet, but if you go to, I don't know if only an administrator on Lpedia can see this, but if you go to recent changes, I just uploaded it. And I'm going to stick it on that controversy page, but let me stick a link in chat here. Transcript. And in case anyone's curious, because I know court reporters make their money this way, the court reporter uploaded this publicly. Apparently in Michigan federal court, when you order a transcript, once somebody pays for the transcript, they do put it on the docket. So here you guys go. there is the transcript. It's only 29 pages. It is a very, very good read. And I don't normally say that about court transcripts, but this judge is sharp and she's witty. It's an enjoyable read. Let's just say that. Okay, now, Oklahoma. Isn't there a song like associated with Oklahoma? I don't know why. I just want to break out in song. But here we go. The 1975 I keep moving away from my mic. I'm sorry. I know that leads to very inconsistent volume levels. The 1975 State Convention of the Oklahoma Party, held this July, featured some well-known libertarian speakers, including Susan Love Brown, Vice Chairman of the California LP, Henry Hohenstein, author of The IRS Conspiracy, Kay Haroff, contender for the 1976 presidential nomination. Oh, I know where you can find the transcript. It's not on the LNC list. I am sorry. I am still not feeling well. It's on Ballot Access News. If you go to Ballot Access News, you can get the copy of the transcript as well. And because I believe in the work of Ballot Access News, even though the comments there are always like insanely toxic, and I don't mean like toxic in the like typical libertarian way. I mean borderline like mental patient toxic. But I love Ballot Access News. I would like to promote them. So also, if you would like to download the transcript for yourself, you can get it on Ballot Access News. That's where it was. I wanted to see if there's no, it's the same comments. There's someone who goes by the initials of AZ on Ballot Access News. At first, I thought they were just crazily commenting on anything to do with the Michigan case, but then I went reading other articles, and this person is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like all over the place. So there are some sane commenters there, but really like woo-woo. Like they're coming to take me away. Haha, Looney Tunes. Okay. Kay Haroff, contender for the 1976 presidential nomination, and John Vernon, former candidate for the Oklahoma City Council. Go to next page. Porter Davis, a member of the National Executive Committee, was elected as the new chairman. Media coverage on the convention was excellent. We're never gonna, maybe I'll do some bonus shows. Maybe that's what I'll do over the weekend. I don't know. Record some bonus content. We'll see. I circle it anyway. Its habit was excellent. The event was covered by several newspapers, including the Oklahoma Journal and the Times in Oklahoma City. In addition, the speakers and convention received over 10 hours of radio and television time on various talk shows, interview programs, and news spots. Even more coverage was attracted the day before the convention by a press conference in which Porter Davis, as LPO spokesman, blasted Oklahoma Governor David Boren's 36% increase in state spending. Okay, Oregon. Is there any Oregon songs? There's got to be. I keep thinking on Oregon. Isn't Oregon where the Donner family happened? Was it the Oregon Trail? Did that actually happen in Oregon, or was it just called the Oregon Trail, but where the unfortunate event took place wasn't in Oregon, or was it? I know, I am so random today. This June, the Oregon LP held a successful state convention at which Richard, I need to buy a vowel, Alex, Pferdner was elected the new chairman. He has expressed his determination to turn the OLP into a viable campaign organization by the time of its next annual convention. The party is planning an extensive display for its state fair and will use the event as an opportunity to start its petition drive for ballot status in 1976, as well as for selling books and distributing literature. The party has accelerated its drive to organize in all 36 counties of the state. There are only 36 counties in Oregon. We got like 60 something in Colorado. It's crazy. And Florida like has got 10 million zillion. Like I lived in Florida my whole life, and there's still like counties that I had never heard of. And has been publicizing the ill effects of such recent legislative boondoggles as the Oregon Bottle Bill. What's that? And statewide land use planning. I wonder if that's like, remember when you, well, some of you youngsters will not remember, but it used to be when bottles of soda were like actually glass, you had to pay a deposit on them, and you return them for 10 cents, 5 cents, whatever it used to be. And kids used to go dumpster diving and trash can diving to get bottles so that they could, you know, pedal their bicycles to the 7-Eleven and earn some money. I know I did that. I got lots of candy money that way by foraging for bottles. I really am showing my age here, aren't I? But any of you other children, like if your like early childhood was in the 70s, you remember that. Yeah, remember that. Okay. Pennsylvania. The July issue of the Libertarian Pen includes an excellent article by state chairperson Joanne Chernow on political activism. Reports also indicate that the LP chapter in Western Pennsylvania is continuing to grow in strength. Texas. The TLP. Notice how most of the parties then are state name followed by LP. Not every single one of them. And a lot of them were really inconsistent. Funny enough, one of them that was inconsistent was Michigan. Sometimes they called themselves the Michigan Libertarian Party, and other times they called themselves the Libertarian Party of Michigan. It's one of the few that kind of alternated back and forth. I think that's because Montana was MLP. I mean, there was also a bunch of other states, I mean, that start with M, quite obviously. Well, not a bunch. How many? There's Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Michigan. What other states start with M? Is that it? I think that's it. But anyway, so there was a bunch that were MLP, so they alternated back and forth. Just some trivia. This is mostly LP trivia, isn't it? So I got a scary question earlier today from a staff member who called me, and they're like, I have a question. And I'm like, I might have an answer. And then he said, I think you are the most qualified person in the country to answer this question. And I'm like, oh, okay, no pressure. It made me think of, okay, y'all notice this cross I wear a lot, which is my Via de Cristo cross. What you might not know on the back is there's a little saying on the back, and it says, Christ is counting on you. And I'm like, no pressure there. No pressure there at all. That's what I felt like. Oh, Maryland. Yes, that's another one. Massachusetts. Thank you. And can you tell, I see some glitter. When you put on glitter, it doesn't go away. Like, I'll probably find this glitter still on my face like 3 weeks from now. I don't know why I put on glitter eye stuff. We went out for a hike today. You could tell I got some sun. I'm not trying to like flash or anything, but you could tell by the neckline. Look how much sun I got. Because I was wearing this shirt, and you could just see right there. And we weren't out for that long. Probably in the back, too. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Oh, not so bad. But in the front, boy, I really got some sun. Minnesota. I'm awful, aren't I? Can you tell, like, geography isn't my thing? I couldn't point to Colorado on a map after I lived here a couple of years. I'm just terrible, like, spatially with that. Only reason, like, Florida's easy because it's the hurricane feeler, but that probably is not a good joke right now. Sorry, Florida. It's kind of like part of my standard repertoire. I'm not trying to be like, I know you got some, Idalia? Is that what the storm is called? Bearing down on you right now. Okay. Anyway, TLP held its state convention in June. Officers were elected, with Lonnie Brantley becoming the new chairman. Delegates to the national convention were selected, and the state platform was amended to incorporate the 1970 1974 Statement of Principles of the National Party. Because remember, it used to be 1972 Statement of Principles, was amended during that Dallas Accord in 1974. Prior to the convention, a news conference was held, and an article on the LP appeared in the Austin American Statesman. I'm going to circle that. The Texas ballot drive was discussed, and success is expected with a few problems. I wonder what the few problems were. Besides the formal session, the attendees had an opportunity to hear, and they spelled hear, H-E-R-E, proofreading, to hear talks by Kay Haroff, who is seeking the presidential nomination, and vice presidential aspirant, that's a word you don't hear very often, Jim Trotter. Utah, George Chapman, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing this. The state chairman reports that serious plans are underway for the 1976 Utah elections. They will be on the ballot and plan on running Steve Trotter. So there's two Trotters. You just had Jim Trotter mentioned before. Here's Steve Trotter. For the U.S. Senate against incumbent Frank E. Moss. Carl Bray is also planning on running for governor at this time. In addition to Trotter and Bray, the party expects to run an additional 16 to 20 candidates in the state to obtain permanent ballot status for the LP. One of the candidates running must secure 8,300 votes. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about too. It's nothing to do with LP history. You know, this is my stream of consciousness show. Did you see, was it earlier today, that some eco-activists chained themselves to barricades to block the one lane out in the middle of the Nevada desert where cars were driving to Burning Man? Like, bears a very little brain. If you're going to inconvenience a group of people, like the Burning Man crowd, when you're eco people, like, I know all different kinds of people go to Burning Man, but apparently they picked it because they said it had become too right-wing. Like, tell me you know nothing about Burning Man without telling me you know nothing about Burning Man. Now, of course, it's not all a bunch of hippy-dippies, and I mean that in a very flattering way, because I'm a bit of a hippy-dippy myself. But there's a lot of hippy-dippies, and they're environmentally conscious. They're not like the people you want to be inconveniencing. But they did it because it's a one-lane highway out to the middle of nowhere, and they can inconvenience a lot of people. But what a dumb decision. It's like as dumb of the decision as the prosecutor who gave Trump that multi-million-dollar mugshot. Dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Dumb. Okay. I don't know where I was at now. Oh, Wisconsin. The WLP recently held a successful display at the Brady Street Festival, where an estimated 50,000 were in attendance. Many people were introduced to the party, names were added to the mailing list, and literature was distributed. Coming festivals in September and December will also be used for setting up booths. The WLP will also have a booth at the Wisconsin State Fair in the first part of August. Helen Slavins, Wisconsin's, getting old sucks. Got a cramp on my leg. And of course, I'm still worried about that spider from 2 weeks ago. Was seen on a half-hour TV show along with the conservative Nicholas Laniello, a reporter from the Milwaukee Sentinel, and a representative of the Progressive magazine. The special program was entitled Target the State. Okay. And the topics discussed included taxation, monopoly, and voter apathy. Last, Wyoming only has one sentence. The new temporary chairman is Ralph McMullen. Okay, we're going to do one more thing on this one because, again, we're not going to finish this month because of just me missing so many shows with not feeling well. But we're going to do, because I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if there'll be a show tomorrow. I'm going to try. But we're going to do best written letter to the editor. That one is always fun. So, this is from Thomas L. Johnson, and it appeared in the Fredericksburg, Virginia Freelance Star and the June 20th Richmond News Leader. Okay, here goes the letter. Are you ready? Yes, you are ready. There is a great deal of talk among conservatives today concerning the possible establishment of a new major political party. Some conservatives recognize that many Republicans and most Democrats are continually working to expand the power of the state. The more things change, the more they stay the same, thereby destroying individual rights and freedom. James J. Kilpatrick, in a column, June 12th, in which he presents his views about William A. Rusher's new book, The Making of a New Majority Party, states that the Democrats stand for something and their liberal image is clear, consistent, and politically appealing. The Republicans, by contrast, stand for nothing. And then that was a quote. And then our author here says how wrong he is. The Republicans are just as consistent as the Democrats in supporting the expansion of government control over the lives of the citizens. Republicans did not earn the appellation of being the Me Too party for nothing. But that today means something entirely different. But it would seem that both Kilpatrick and Rusher, as well as many other conservatives and liberals, are unaware of the fact that there is already in existence since 1971 a new political party, which recognizes that the state does not have the right to control, regulate, or dispose of the lives of individuals and the fruits of their labor. This new political party, which should have wide appeal among those who recognize the tremendous dangers of the ever-expanding government, has as its most fundamental principle that of individual rights, the same principle that the Founding Fathers emphasized. In its statement of principles, this new party holds that, quote, since governments, when instituted, again, we're dealing with the 1974 Statement of Principles, must not violate individual rights, we oppose all interference by government in the areas of voluntary and contractual relations among individuals. They should be left free by government to deal with one another as free traders in the resultant economic system. The only one compatible with the protection of individual rights is the free market. The Republicans and Democrats stand for a mixed economy, a mixture which is lethal to freedom. Love that quote. The new party stands for a full-fledged capitalism, i.e. a fully free market. So don't let anyone tell you that when they switched the wording to free market that they were turning anti-capitalist. The party has always been capitalist. Sorry, not sorry. Whose precious feels that hurts. I want to circle that because I think I want to tweet out something like that. This new political party is the Libertarian Party. Unlike a new majority party, visualized by some, the Libertarian Party is a grassroots endeavor that is rapidly spreading across the United States and expects to be on the ballot in about 20 states in 1976. If the Democrats and Republicans don't completely wreck this country in the next few years, the Libertarian Party will continue to grow until it will be able to offer every American a real choice at the polls, a choice between statism and freedom, and then it gives an address for information. Just a couple things before we go. It's not necessarily LP history, but it is political news. So I saw today that Bernie Sanders is now starting to make a little noise. Like, okay, I'm going to be a little ghoulish here. We've got our Republican ghoul in chat, so this is perfectly appropriate. Now I know Bernie is older than Biden, but let's be real. You know, it's Biden that's doing the weekend at Bernie's, not Bernie. So, like, Bernie's kind of like circling around like a vulture, seeing if perhaps, you know, there might be an opportunity for him. That is nightmare fuel. I mean, Biden is nightmare fuel enough. I'm going to say something. I might be proven wrong, that all my Republican friends, if there are any, they're not going to like. This is the way it looks to me. I think we're heading to another Democrat president. It's just a matter of who. Trump is going to sweep the Republican primaries. That, unless I mean, that just seems like a near certainty to me, and it also seems like a near certainty he is not going to win the election. The things that are making him popular amongst the Republican voters to sweep him through the primary are not going to earn the votes of the people other than the hardcore Republicans in the general election. It's just not going to happen. So I am fairly confident, unless, you know, the Libertarian pulls through, or we're probably going to end up with another Democrat president. And I mean, Biden is bad, Kamala Harris is bad, but I cannot think of hardly any more like nightmare fuel than like an outright socialist. And that could be what we are heading towards. So anyway, just wanted to give you my observations on that. Could be wrong, could be very wrong, but anyone can see that he is circling around to see if there is going to be an opening for him. I don't think he'll directly challenge Biden, but I do think he will sweep in if for some reason Biden cannot run. And was there anything else I needed to say? I don't think so. So I think that's it for this evening. I'm going to get back to work. I hope you guys have an awesome evening, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice night, and mi guapas de libertad. And hey, Frank, D. Frank, we were just talking about Oklahoma earlier, so I was thinking of you. All right, see you tomorrow.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business. Not